Welcome to WebSpeed, exclusively from SandDollar Digital Design Incorporated. My name is David Bailey. I've been creating WebSpeed for nearly 2 decades, and in this video I want to take a little bit of time and give an overview of the photo gallery. And while you're looking here in the type, you can see that right here it says Photo Gallery Page. This is actually the oldest module in WebSpeed. I started creating this module first, primarily because of its strength in creating a more effective footprint for your website on the internet. It is not just a page on a website, it is a whole series of pages managed by one module. And this has certainly grown up in the past 17 years that we've been creating this. We've added new modules, and incidentally, if you see something somewhere else that you would like to see implemented here, we're always welcome to let us know. And frankly, I look for your ideas on what you like, because that just makes all of WebSpeed better. Up here in the upper right, you can see it says click here to view this page now. This is the link you want to click to open that page up in a new window or tab. And remember, we use WebSpeed. It's a good idea to have 2 tabs or windows open, and one for your WebSpeed account and one for the web page to go and check and see how things look. Now, everything about this photo gallery is customizable. There are tons and tons and tons of different features here in WebSpeed. The tabs that you see here, if you don't see all of them, it just depends on the permission levels for your account and for your website. Just because something doesn't show up on your account does not mean it's broken. It just means that your website is set up a little bit differently. Specifically here, and this one is called Photo Gallery. It can be called anything. If you have the Page Details tab, you can actually set the name of that right down here where it says Button Text. And this does get a little bit tricky. If something doesn't work after you have changed that button text, please double check with us if you need to, if you don't know how to fix it yourself. But you always, whenever making changes, especially to the Page Details tab, you really want to make sure that things still work on your site. You go to the website and go click several links and make sure that they're actually going where they're supposed to be going. It's a very important thing to test your site. Many of you know that one of my biggest pet peeves is broken links and links that don't work. I try very hard to help this system not do that, but inevitably it's going to happen, and we have to go fix it somehow or another. A lot of the fixes are simply just a click away, a click or 2 away for us, and we're more than happy to do those when the need arises. So here in the photo gallery, there's an instructions tab. There you may or may not have the page details. The important thing here, though, is the photo gallery entry index. And this is a list of all the records, all the entries in the photo gallery. Now, a standard website can hold well over 1,500 images. You can have literally thousands of records in here if you need them. We have some places that have hundreds of records in here. The nice thing about having records here is each record, like here we go again, what a city, this is another page. And the important thing to keep in mind is this text that we enter in here is going to make the page, the website, more accessible to people by search engines. A lot of times we create a photo gallery for products or for services or maybe experiences, and we use the photo gallery, the descriptions in this photo gallery and the titles and subtitles to get these keywords in here. In this particular case, we're looking at, well, there is no word New York City. It just says, what a city. If we really wanted to make this page about New York City, we would include the words New York City in the, certainly in the title up here. This would be the subtitle, and even in the description. Now, you can't just type in New York City and expect it to work. You need to create nice English sentences that include the words that you want to have indexed on your site. Whether it's furniture or whether it's fishing trips or whatever your website is concerning, that's the kind of text you want to have in there. So this photo gallery entry index shows all the records that are in there. In this particular gallery, we only have one record, and we're going to change that here shortly. You'll also see there's an add new record, and I want to look in here at one thing very briefly. Down here, right now, we don't have any categories, and categories will appear below the description and above the featured on intro page. So we're going to go here to the Manage Gallery Categories, and again, this tab, you may or may not have it, but this is actually a good way to help organize photos, especially if you have a lot of them. If you've got over 20 records in this, you might want to think about organizing them to make them more accessible for people. So I'm going to put in here photo type. That sounds good. And this first one is going to call the first category New York City, which here is a good appropriate way to include the word New York City if we want this particular page to be indexed with that word. Next down here, let's put in, let's do outdoor furniture. I happen to know we have a lot of outdoor furniture pictures. So we're going to use, and we can use, I believe there's up to 50 categories here. Right now it only shows 10. When I go in here, if I were to fill those up and I click Save Changes Now, you'll see it comes back to this same page, and it will show me 10 empty category spaces. So I can fill those up, Save Changes Now, and fill some more up. It will also show me one extra major set of categories. And kind of be careful here. You really have to think about what you want your website, the entries that you're going to have on there. I am more than happy to discuss and help design your organization strategy for your entries in your photo gallery page. It can get a little tricky and sometimes it's even more obvious, but feel free to ask if you need to. So now we added the 2 categories. We've done nothing to the records. We still only have one, but we can always edit records that are here. And I want to say, let's put this photo in New York City. And we're going to change the item. And of course, there's the description and the title in there. But if we go over here now, and I'm just going to go to the photo gallery, you'll notice down here at the bottom, we actually have categories listed out here. And that actually helps not only search engines, but helps people find places within your site that they are interested in. Maybe they've come here to look at New York City. They can click on that and they can see all the entries about New York City. Well, in this case, it's just the one record. But if you had 1,000, well, let's just say if you had 100 records in here, each with its own set of pictures, and you would want to give people the opportunity just to narrow that down to the things that they're interested in. Now, another thing that you'll have in here is this page setup, and there are not very many options for most people in here. Well, there's more than I realized. Oh, yeah, actually, you can see here are the options, and right now we set up the first type of option, photo type. And let me put out a very stern warning here. Be very careful about using this section. There are things that can get messed up in here, but one thing I want to show is right here under New York City, there is this Show on Intro. And right underneath this outdoor furniture, there's Show on Intro. What this field does, this is actually an important field. What it does is, if that's set to yes, when someone goes into the photo gallery, these categories will always show up down here at the bottom. Now, there are circumstances that you may not want all your category names to show up here, and that's possible. But if I wanted New York City to show up, but maybe I don't want outdoor furniture to show up there. So I'm going to click change that to no, Save Changes Now, and you'll see when I hit refresh that only New York City shows up now. It's still out there. If someone clicks on the Show All, the photo is still there, the category is still there. Well, there's nothing in it right now, but Show All would still show everything. It's still accessible, and they could also search for it too. So that's one thing down here that that is important. Underneath every single category down here, we have this yes and no, and I'll go ahead and turn that back on. In most cases, you'll probably want those categories on, but there will be circumstances that will change. So that's a general overview of the page details, which we've seen in other videos. The photo gallery entry index. I'm going to show the add new record very briefly here, and we're going to get into more detail in another video on each of these items. But when we add the new record, we give it a title, and I strongly recommend putting in good, strong titles that are going to be relate well to the pictures and the description and everything else that you're doing in here. Swing for your porch. I'm going to use that as a title. Relax in the outdoors on this comfortable swing. And then here's the magic part. You can't put too much text in title and subtitle, but description, technically you can add about 65,000 characters. That's a 65-page paperback book. That's a lot, and frankly, that's too much. But you definitely want to get enough in here for people to know what the description is. It is not required, but wow, it's really one of the biggest tools that if we're not using, we're really cutting our own throats and trying to get our website out there. I recommend being as complete as possible in here and creating a description that, whether it's a person looking at it or a search engine looking at it, there's plenty of text in here for people to grasp onto if they want to find out more about whatever your photos in this section are going to be. Give them as much opportunity as possible. And I'm going to put this in outdoor furniture. Again, in Firefox and some browsers, you can actually make these boxes larger, and that's a useful thing to do. We're going to talk about special feature in another video. It's a very important feature that actually helps this particular item come more to the forefront of our web page. But I've added that to here. I'm going to just go here, and you'll see down below, now we have this swing for your porch, relax in the outdoors with this comfortable swing, and a selection of the text. You don't want all the text in here, but the first so many characters are going to be important, which will show you here, those first so many characters, you want to make sure you use your keywords. Right? In this particular case, swing for your porch, those are keywords. Relax in the outdoors on this comfortable swing, that's a key phrase. Getting words from there consistently throughout is going to be very important, and doing so in good English, because remember, the computer can analyze the text and know that it's good English. You don't want to just slap out random words that are not really readable in the hopes that the search engines will hit those words. It doesn't work like that. So anyway, we've added a new record. Go to the photo gallery entry index. We can see it here. We're going to talk about adding photos and some of the other options in there, but you can see now we have 2 in here, and we'll look at more. Oh, here's one more thing I would like to show. When you're getting a lot of entries in here, you may need to click this sort entries by, and then whatever your category name is, that helps sort things out for you. This list can get long, and it can get a little bit annoying, and we'll talk more about that when we go into details about this entry index and adding new records a bit more in another video. Be sure to subscribe to the Sand Digital Design Incorporated YouTube channels for access to all the web speed training videos available. Feel free to ask questions in the comments of our YouTube videos. This is David Bailey, and I will talk to you in the next video lesson.